Who's the lady that brought this to me? The lady in the
Oh, that's Libby.
HR. Yeah,
Rutledge.
HR.
Rutledge.
No, not but all of the resolutions and ordinances and minutes. I know, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I can find everything where he changed it. I can go back to it. He didn't tell me.
You're up, Ms. Recorder.
Okay, you're first. It's now 7 o'clock. We need to call the order of the mayor and board meeting. First is the oath of the mayor. I state your name.
I, Cloud Chastain,
Having here therefore
having heretofore
being elected to the mayor, office of mayor of the city of McMinnville,
been elected to the office of mayor of the city of McMinnville,
Tennessee,
Tennessee,
for the 4-year term beginning in November,
for your term beginning in November of 2024,
following the municipal election,
following the municipal election,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or attest
or attest
that I will support
that I will support
the constitutions of the United States of America
the constitutions of the United States of America
and the state of Tennessee.
and the state of Tennessee.
Further,
Further,
I will faithfully and impartially
I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of
discharge the duties of
such office to the best of my ability,
such office to the best of my ability,
skill,
skill,
and understanding,
and understanding.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Mayor, I have something for you. Your certificate of election.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, next three. Okay, raise your hands. I state your name,
I, Sally Roberts,
having here therefore
having heretofore
been elected to the office
been elected to the office
of Alderman
of Alderman
of the city of McMinnville,
of the city of McMinnville,
Tennessee,
Tennessee,
for the 4-year term
for the 4-year term
beginning on the second regular meeting
beginning on the second regular meeting
in November of 2024,
in November of 2024,
following the municipal election,
following the municipal election,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or attest
or attest
that I will support
that I will support
the constitutions of the United States of America
the constitutions of the United States of America
and the state of Tennessee.
and the state of Tennessee.
Further,
Further,
I will faithfully and impartially
I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of such
discharge the duties of such
office
office
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
skill,
skill,
and understanding,
and understanding,
so help me God.
so help me God.
And I have the certificates for you all as well. There's one.
This session of the new Board of Mayor and Aldermen called to order. We will now have roll call.
Sally Brock,
Present.
Deidre Dunlap,
Present.
Steve Harvey,
Here.
Rachel Kirby,
Here.
Carrie Norton,
Here.
Kara Youngblood,
Here.
Mayor Chastain.
Present. The next item is consideration of minutes. Each board member should have received those in their agenda packets. If there are no requests for additions, corrections, or deletions, the minutes from November 12th, I will entertain a motion to dispense with the reading and approve them as read.
So moved.
A motion by
Second.
Ms. Carrie Morton and a second by Ms. Sally Brock. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item 5 is recognition of visitors. If anyone wishes to address the board, step to the podium and state your name for the record. Hearing none, item 6 is recognition of employees. Anyone who wishes to give recognition to staff this evening, please come on up. Item 7 is communications. There were none in the packet. Did any come in late? No. Item 8 is petitions. There are none. And item 9 is unfinished business. Does any member of the board have any unfinished business this evening? Hearing none, item 10 is new business. Up for discussion this evening is a resolution concerning the employee agreement between Mr. Ming and the city of McMinnville. That was in the agenda packet as Exhibit 1. And has everybody had time to look that over? Any questions, anything about that? We had Libby do some research about pay and compensation for city administrators of similar population sizes to the city of McMinnville. And the information that we gleaned from that research was that Nolan is paid to some degree significantly less than his peers in similar city sizes. So it is being recommended in this resolution to increase his pay. And then a few years ago, we were kind of looking at crunching some numbers in the budget, and he forewent taking possession of a fleet vehicle that the city would have provided to help cut costs that year. But now that we're in a more financially promising situation than back then, he has asked if the city would get a fleet vehicle for him to use for official purposes. So I'd like to hear thoughts from the rest of the board. Ms. Youngblood, I know you're right out of the gate, but the rest of the board members have worked with him all for at least 2 years. Just like input before we make a decision like this.
I would like to do some negotiation on some things.
Okay.
There were a few things that I needed a little clarity on. I would like to see your current contract that you're under also. Andrea wasn't able to provide me with a copy of that. So. I
have
just,
it.
okay,
I didn't know you wanted it.
Yeah.
No one asked you for it.
I know.
I can get that. Do you have a question about it?
Well, I would just
You
like to
want
do
to
some
see it?
just some comparisons before we actually take a vote.
Let's just do it now, if you want to.
I mean, are we gonna go, well, I mean, nobody has a copy of it. And I don't know, without doing that, I mean, we can't really go line by line looking at it.
Unless there are specific things you want that are in the current contract, we can compare to the old one? Or is it the entire contract?
It's the entire
Okay.
contract. Yeah.
Then we would need to send that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we would just have to defer this matter to our next meeting, and then get that.
There's just a little language and stuff in it that I'd just like to see what was and what's on this new one here.
That type of stuff is kept in the personnel file in HR.
Okay.
So I have it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just have to meet.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Yeah.
Can I just sidewalk test, is the car going to be a part of the contract? Or just separate from?
Well, the car thing was actually in his previous contract, and he just opted not to accept the vehicle, so that's not even a change to the contract. So, but if that's totally okay with me, we can defer this to the first December meeting, and that way it will give time for members of the board to meet with Libby, because again, with human resources stuff, that's not publicly, we'll just
Okay.
hand that out, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Ms. Youngblood?
That's fine.
All right, item 11 is resolutions. Resolution number 2024-45 to accept the TDOT proposal for state project number 89951-259-04 and 89951-255-804, and to express the time when this resolution becomes effective. Do I have a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Carrie Morton,
Second.
second by Ms. Deidre Dunlap. Mr. Ming, for the record, can you provide some context as to what these two state proposals are?
I can. So when TDOT came through and did the Magnus Drive extension, where it connected, it brought out Magnus Drive, the new intersection there. It connected with the sidewalk project that goes in front of the mall and out to the new hotel. Those two projects got put together. The right-of-way agreement for one of those did not get signed. This is what we learned in our recent meeting with TDOT. So this is TDOT coming back and trying to get the right-of-way contract approved. Is that correct, Tim?
It is. I reviewed the original resolution approving the condemnation project. TDOT sent on completion of the project a final resolution for the board's adoption. And I've compared the two, and Ellen and I conferenced with the TDOT acquisition agent on the project who requested signature on their resolution, and it's all in order. We had a question about one provision that had to do with damages that may be due to a landowner affected by the project that is referred to in the law as an inverse condemnation claim. But we clarified in a conference call with the TDOT representative that that was not the city's responsibility going forward. If any such cases involving damages awarded, they would be paid by TDOT, not we. So I've approved the resolution as performed and recommended to the board.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions or further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Sally Brock,
Yes.
Deidre Dunlap,
Aye.
Steve Harvey,
Yes.
Rachel Kirby,
Yes.
Carrie Morton,
Yes.
Carrie Youngblood,
Yes.
Mayor Chastain.
Aye, motion passes. Item 11B is resolution number 2024-53 to accept quote Q702 and quote Q703 from Amtax Equipment Company for the purchase of a boom mower with attachments for the amount of $321,176.05 for the McMinnville Public Works Department. This will authorize the city administrator to issue the necessary purchase orders on behalf of the city and to express the time when the resolution becomes effective. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Sally Brock,
Second.
second by Ms. Carrie Morton. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote.
Sally Brock,
Yes.
Deidre Dunlap,
Aye.
Steve Harvey,
Yes.
Rachel Kirby,
Yes.
Carrie Morton,
Yes.
Carrie Youngblood,
Yes.
Mayor Chastain.
Aye, motion passes. 11C is resolution number 2024-54 to purchase water meters from Master Meter in the amount of $113,400 for the city's water and sewer department. Authorize the city administrator to issue the necessary purchase order on behalf of the city to express the time when this resolution becomes effective. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Sally Brock,
Second.
second by Ms. Carrie Morton. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Sally Brock,
Yes.
Deidre Dunlap,
Aye.
Steve Harvey,
Yes.
Rachel Kirby,
Yes.
Carrie Morton,
Yes.
Carrie Youngblood,
Yes.
Mayor Chastain.
Aye, motion passes. Item 11D is resolution number 2024-55 to purchase 18 ballistic vests in the amount of $21,448.84 from quote QTE 0197988. And authorizing the city administrator to issue the necessary purchase order on behalf of the city and to express the time when this resolution becomes effective. Before we take action on this, does the company that we're purchasing these for not need to be in the verbiage there?
Thought they were, I'll amend it, I'll put them on
So I'll take a motion to approve the purchase of these vests with the amendment that will include the company that we're purchasing these from. Otherwise, as written. I have a motion by Mr. Steve Harvey, second by Ms. Rachel Curry. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
there. Sally Brock?
Yes.
Deidre Dunlap?
Aye.
Steve Harvey?
Yes.
Rachel Kirby?
Yes.
Carrie Morton?
Yes.
Carol Youngblood?
Yes.
Mayor Chastain?
Aye, motion passes. Item 12 is ordinances. There are none. Item 13 is departmental reports. Anyone has anything for the board this evening, please step to the podium.
Good evening. Just wanted to mention a few things since the last time we met. There's been a lot of completions over at the Miller Center. First of all, our pickleball and tennis courts are completed, so they look fantastic. We are trying to, I want to say, do a ribbon cutting for December 6th, and I'd really like for you all to be there since you made some of those decisions on how we were going to move forward with that project. We're trying to get some school board members there, obviously for their donation that they had made, and the mayor and Mr. Mean. So we're trying to set that date for December 6th, and there will be an email if we confirm that and come out to you all. We're installing pool lights at the Gilly Pool. That's a big project. We started those today. There's 28 of them, but we've got half of them done. We also had the pool resurfacing completed. So that was a big project. The slide, the mushrooms, the horses, the frog, all of that has been repainted, recoated, re-gel coated. It looks amazing. McMinnville on Ice will open at Flip the Switch this Saturday. And moving 1 week past that, the Christmas parade will be December 7th. We'll be starting at the same location at the Milner Center, follow the same path. So, thank you all.
Justin,
Yes, sir.
the paper I was reading about the pickleball courts, and it's talking about using the pass to get equipment. That's not to use the courts, right?
No.
Just
The
to
outdoor
if you
courts
get
are open to
equipment.
anybody. We just wanted, if people didn't have equipment, we have equipment that we would be able to provide them. Yes, sir. Thank you.
They're beautiful.
Thank you.
Item 14 is announcements. I'm going to hand out the committee assignments and then ask for an appointment. I'll pass these down to Nolan and Tim as well.
Can we get an update on her fire chief?
How's Chief Kendall doing? I got you. Thank you.
Thank you.
The only one of these that needs an appointment from the full board is the vice mayor. I've appreciated all the help that Steve has given me over the past couple of years, and I would ask that the board consider reappointing him as the Board of Mayor and Aldermen's vice mayor for another term. So I'll entertain a motion in that regard.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion by Ms. Carrie Morton and a second by Ms. Rachel Kirby. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. If there are any questions about any of these, feel free to reach out. Ms. Youngblood, the Planning Commission will be in touch with you. Ms. Morton, the Beer Board, will be in touch with you. And Ms. Dunlap, we've already got you through to MES, so we are all good there. If there are no announcements for the board, we do need to go into an executive session, discuss a couple of legal matters following the meeting. Mr. Main?
I have one announcement. we have hired our new tourism and marketing department manager. Her name is Jordan Bowles, and she currently works at Fall Creek Falls, and she starts next Monday. So we're excited about that.
Mr. Pardo?
Just a point of order. Under new business 10A,
Mhm.
resolution 2024-56.
Yes, sir.
Did I understand that the resolution was tabled, and if so, Robert's rules by default, we put it on the next meeting agenda
Correct.
unless you designated otherwise?
Correct, yeah.
Mr. Mayor?
Ms. Morton asked that the board be afforded some time to visit with Libby to,
Can I, say-
Yeah.
before we table that, can I say something on that? Do you mind, can we go back to that? Is that appropriate
yeah,
to revisit that? Can we just go back to it, and if Libby doesn't mind, maybe we'll just talk about what changes that there are from the old one, just so we all know.
sure.
Maybe that'll answer some questions.
So the big thing on the original contract was compensation. We did this, I think it was August, September, I had just started, it was during COVID, and we were downstairs on the first floor. So some of you were there. We had proposed a salary of $86,000, and during the meeting, it was determined and voted on, and I think it was 105. I think we ended up with a salary of 105. Yeah, 105. The contract states, following that initial salary, he will follow the compensation policies and processes. So every year during budget, we get a step increase. As some of you are aware, we did the compensation study right before you joined the board. During that time, it was determined that he was underpaid. We moved him up into, I think he's in grade 16 now. And his pay has progressed along the compensation processes. So there's also a severance in this contract, but it's for 6 months. So it's very similar. It doesn't have outplacement services, but severance is just salary continuation. So they are no longer an active employee. Their salary continues for 6, 12 months, and they continue to get benefits at the employee discounted rate. They don't accrue any time.
But that is only if he were,
Severance is only triggered if he is determined no longer needed by the board. If he resigns.
yeah, but not if he were terminated with cause, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
If he resigns, that does not trigger severance. And if he violates policy, commits a felony, that he would not get severance.
But in the new contract, that's for a period of 1 year and not
It
6
is,
months.
so that increases along with the pay.
Yeah.
The pay is still on the pay scale, still 16, still within that pay scale.
Do you have any, I mean, is anything else different that you're aware of from the other?
No, there's nothing, you know, the vehicle, that's the same, he had a vehicle, and I think during some hard times, he gave that up and went to the police department, and then he never got that back. The performance evaluation's a little bit different, because the performance evaluation will follow our performance evaluation that we do every year. That should be conducted by the board. We've done that a couple times. We'll do that about February. They'll create the goals for the year and share what he's accomplished for the prior year and ask for feedback.
So just to recap, the severance has been increased from 6 months to 12 months.
Correct.
And compensation is going up from, I think originally you said 105,000.
He's currently at he's currently at 122? 128. 128. He's currently at 128. The new contract states 160.
Can we discuss it? I mean, here, because if we put it off, it's just delaying his pay.
I mean, if there's a motion and a second and a majority vote,
Is there any, does anyone else have any concerns about the amount? I know that,
Yes.
I'm,
I do. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Steve.
not on salary, the severance time is, I think is a tad high. I'll be willing to, instead of going from 6 to 12, go from 6 to 9 months on that.
and anytime you're talking about an executive level position, you know, I've seen it in healthcare, seen it in insurance companies, banks, and government entities. 6 months to 12 months is not uncommon, so I think even 9 months is reasonable. That's just the status quo when you're talking about executive level positions.
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the salary, the amount. As I told you earlier today, the general manager at MES makes more than $160,000.
I'm sorry,
The general manager at MES makes more than $160,000. And she just manages the electric system.
and that's the newly hired manager.
Yes,
Handle electric
yes,
system.
it is. And he manages the entire city.
I mean, I'm being perfectly honest, 160 still puts him below median pay for a position like this.
Do you know what median pay is for a position?
160, 167.
Somewhere between 160 and
However,
167.
let me just say, our pay grade that he's in tops out at 167, 168. So if you give that to him, then he'll be red circle, meaning he only gets a lump sum every year.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, that happens in a whole lot of places as well, where there's different pay grades and steps. Like at River Park, we just call it topped out. And that will happen for nurses and other staff that have been with the organization for so long, they eventually can't get any more raises and they just get a lump sum. And you can't really call it a bonus because it's not necessarily for performance or any kind of metrics that are just being met, but instead of a cost of living adjustment or a merit-based rate, it's just one lump sum of money. And that's just what they get.
And we do review the salaries every year in the market. So every year we'll look at our pay scale, what the average market is paying for these positions, and if we need to make changes, we will make changes.
Suggestions?
I suggest that he deserves what the general manager at MES is making.
Well, I sit in on budget meetings, and we went from $904,000 last year in the hole until getting it in a much better position this year. So and it has nothing to do with the work or anything. Mine is all about the money. And we cut some nonprofits. We did a lot of cutting, and that's my only thing. I think it's high to go from where he is to 160, but I don't know where it lives. Other than that, I think 12 months is a long time for a severance pay. I don't like a year. So those are my two things. And I can't find where I read in here something about, like, do you have the authority to just go into any department and fire somebody?
Yes.
He has the authority, and he has it currently too. Is that, currently has it?
Except for
It's over here.
the executive positions.
He cannot,
Okay.
the recorder, the attorney,
Finance.
and, finance.
Okay.
City judge.
Yeah, those are all up to
Okay.
the entire board.
However, let me just state, we have a personnel policy that we follow.
Yes, I mean, I understand
So there
that.
would have to be a justification to terminate someone.
Well, I understand that, but that was in reading that, I was just trying to figure out exactly where that lived
It also
also.
states that in the charter for his position.
Okay, all right, that, like I said, I was just trying to figure out where that lived at. But anyway, but those were my main things. The amount, everybody's worth what they're worth, and when you do a good job, you do a good job. But I think where we did all the cutting, that's just what I worry about, because we did do a lot of cuts to things. And I just, and I know $30,000 has nothing to do with 904,000. There's a big difference. But those were my things, so.
Ms. Brown, are you putting that in the form of a motion?
I will put that in the form of a motion and.
That is to amend.
Yes, and also, I guess 9 months instead of a year.
Could you tell me specifically amend?
So to amend resolution number 2024-56 to increase the pay from 160 to 165 to
Reduce severance time.
Mhm.
from 12 months to 9 months.
I have a question. If we do it at 165, is that his top out, or would you have $2,000 more?
What'll happen is he will be between grades. So even the 160 is between the grades 11 and 12.
Mhm.
So there's 13 steps. So we'll put him at 165. And then he may get a small increase the next budget cycle. He won't get a full 3% to put him in a step. And then there's one more step. But again, that's evaluated every year, and since the average is 167 right now, that will probably move.
Okay.
I'm gonna, just to let you know, I'm gonna vote no against that because I don't think we should give more than what he's asking for. I'm gonna support a 9-month severance at 160 as the salary.
Yeah, there's not even a second for
Yeah,
that.
no,
yet.
that's-
Right, I'm just throwing that out there.
So we do have a motion, is there a second?
I second.
So we have a motion by Ms. Sally Brock, a second by Ms. Deidre Dunlap for the amendment to the resolution.
Okay, and will you state that resolution clearly?
Right now, we're discussing an amendment to resolution number 2024-56, and that amendment will increase the amount proposed for this raise to go from 160 to 165, and will decrease
Severance time.
the severance window from 12 months to 9 months. So we have a motion and a second. Are there any other questions about the amendment? And we'll call for the vote.
Sally Brock,
Yes.
Deidre Dunlap,
Aye.
Steve Harvey,
No.
Rachel Kirby,
Yes.
Carrie Morton,
No,
Kara Youngblood,
Yes.
Mayor Chastain.
Aye, motion passes. Now, we consider the resolution as a whole. Is there a motion to approve resolution number 2024-56 as amended?
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Sally Brock,
Second.
second by Ms. Deidre Dunlap. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Sally Brock,
Yes.
Deidre Dunlap,
Aye.
Steve Harvey,
No.
Rachel Kirby,
Yes.
Carrie Morton,
no.
Kara Youngblood,
Yes.
Mayor Chastain.
Aye, motion passes. Are there any, anything else to come before the full board? We've had departmental reports, and some announcements. All right, Again, we do have to go into an executive session, so once the meeting is adjourned, it vacates the boardroom. Thank you. We're adjourned.